Let's talk about Varane.
Go on then.
Linked with Manchester United. Fee believed to be between 43 to 50 million pounds, depending on who you believe. It seems now from most of the reports.
Fish has come on as well.
From most of the reports that Rafael Varane has decided on joining Manchester United, decided on leaving Real Madrid, but he's being respectful and he wants Real Madrid to be able to meet an agreement with Manchester United. That seems like what we're waiting for. If you look at L'Equipe, if you look at Fabrizio Romano, you look at MUFC, you look at Anderser in Spain, they're all very much aligned on what's going on. We even had some of the newspapers and the journalists in England going as far as to say, you know, this is a done deal, and even Trippier's coming. So Rafael Varane, if we believe those rumours and if we, you know, take out that it sounds like we're getting ahead of ourselves and that, let's say he becomes our second signing.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
It's amazing for me. Like, I'm still having that thing of I don't want to tempt fate, and I still, you know what this board are like and our ability to just mess things up, especially as a transfer involving Real Madrid as well, which isn't going to be easy. But Varane, for me, is one of the elite defenders out there. I think his record speaks for itself. I was gutted we didn't get him years ago when Fergie wanted him. I thought he would have been, he would have had obviously his decade or whatever at United and done really well. But I think him and Maguire, in fact, you go that back four.
Luke Shaw
and Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, Luke Shaw, Maguire, and Varane are contenders for the best in their positions. And then Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who defensively is as good as any right back in the world. You have got such a strong defence there that you probably, as a defensive whole,
and Henderson as well, of course, world class keeper behind.
Yeah, exactly. As a defensive whole, is that like the best defence in Europe? It's a contender.
I think City's is pretty good
City's
as well.
City's is pretty good, yeah. But it's a contender.
But hold on that.
Yeah.
So City have Stones. I'd put Maguire ahead of Stones.
But they've got Laporte as well, who plays.
They've got, in depth, they have better
in depth. Yeah. If we're going to pick their best...
Diaz and Stones were there too.
Diaz and Stones. But would you put, say, Maguire over Stones, Diaz over Varane if we got him?
We were only saying that because of the last 12 months.
Yep.
I think before Diaz played for City, we would have said Varane.
Obviously.
All day long.
Yeah,
so, look, I think you can argue about where they fit in the pecking order. But I believe we've got two of the best 5 centre-backs in the world.
I think...
Harry Maguire, Ruben Diaz, Virgil van Dijk, Rafael Varane, Marquinhos, maybe.
You got to remember as well, like, when Diaz went to City, no one was going... This is it now.
No.
He's had such a better season than everyone expected.
Yeah.
He really has. Do you know what I mean? He was a very, very good centre-back who went to a very good team. But he's been arguably the best player in the league, or at least in that conversation. No one saw that one coming. People actually thought he was going to go in and it would be him and Laporte. I think Stones obviously stepped up as well.
Toward the end of the season, Laporte did come back in a lot more.
Yeah, you're right. So Diaz obviously is very talented. I'm not saying he's not, but he's exceeded expectations. And I think Varane has always been there or thereabouts in that conversation.
Because the year before, Laporte was the one that was supposedly the new best centre-back in the world. And then I know he got injured and that sort of thing, but he's also not in that conversation at all anymore, just 12 months later. One sort of worry I have about Varane is this whole thing of he's using us to get a better contract at Madrid. Now we're hearing this. He's basically agreed terms with United. It's just about, can United and Real Madrid get these terms together? One thing I would say is, if he's trying to get a better contract offer out of Madrid, because there were rumours that the one they offered him, not only did they not sort of give him more than he was on before, they actually offered him less than he was on before. If he's trying to get more money out of Madrid, he can't just sort of frivolously mention United's name and all of a sudden they come to him with 50 grand more a week. No. He has to convince them he genuinely wants to join Man United. If he really wants them to just go, fucking hell, we didn't think this was serious, here's the money.
Yeah.
You can't do that by just a quick one night release a press release. Varane's interested in United. That's not gonna convince or fool Real Madrid.
No.
If he's trying to fool Real Madrid, this is how he would do it.
Yeah.
Well,
you really have to go for it.
We have been hearing though.
I'm not saying he is, but that's still in the back of my mind.
Just the case of that.
No, I know. But
again,
everyone has to think that. Otherwise, you're not fooling them.
Real Madrid are saying Varane hasn't even responded to our offer.
Again, that fills me with more concern. If he's not bothered, say no. This whole not responded, to me, I think he's leaving the door open at Madrid.
This
not
is why
responding is leaving the door.
the
I don't want
incredible
to get
thing
to
is-
sort of his ear.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not this is Sancho.
No.
This isn't like let's start doing
Yeah,
our
yeah,
starting
it's
11s.
still a chance.
Let's start doing our starting 11s with Varane. It's if we get him.
Yeah.
This
'Cause
is
we're
just
just
true, the
starting-
things we're saying, but that
Yeah.
if is massive.
We're just starting to get to the point where we believe genuinely he wants to join Man United.
Yeah.
So that's probably where Madrid are. They're probably starting to go, for the first time, we actually think he's going to leave. And that's where he needs them to
But I
be
think-
to get that offer, if that's what he's doing.
I think you're assuming
Yeah.
he's playing a game
It-
to provoke
not-
a reaction.
Yeah.
Which could be the case. But I think that overlooks the fact that these guys have probably had a number of talks, a number of opportunities to be able to give him an offer that hasn't come. Now, he can threaten to leave, and this is actually doing that. But this does feel legit. This does feel real, and it does feel like, because you're not only hearing, okay, financially they're not giving a better deal, you're also hearing he's actually set his heart on leaving. 2 years ago, he wants to go to the Premier League. So this seems like something that he's been waiting to make happen for a while, and now it's happening, or could
I hope
happen.
so.
Now, let's say we get him. We all kind of feel we then have one of possibly the best defensive units, definitely in the Premier League.
That
Possibly
starting
in Europe.
lineup.
Yeah, starting lineup.
Yeah.
Mate, Paul's just looking sick.
Is that
He is.
he said he wouldn't be playing. Is that enough?
No.
To win the league.
Because we're hearing we're going to a 4-3-3. Do you think Ollie's just looked at it and thought, I can get to a 4-3-3 just by improving my defence?
Yeah.
Or like when me and you had that chat at the start of the season, do we still need to go all out for that DM as well?
I feel we still need a DM. I mean, I'm happy to be proven wrong if we don't get one, but I still feel that, yes, Varane and Maguire, if that is the case, would be an amazing centre-back partnership, but I still feel you need someone in front of you. I still feel as well, if you can have a 4-3-3, you need at least one midfielder who's just dedicated to doing the dirty work, basically. You can't just get away with it of just not having an out-and-out DM, playing someone like a McTominay who's more box-to-box, or Fred who's more box-to-box in that role, or Matic who's getting on a bit. I don't think it works. I feel like we still need a DM. And I know when people go, God, you got Varane, you got Sancho, you're not going to be happy with that. Of course I'm going to be happy with it, but that doesn't mean that I can't want more, because we've still got a long way to go to catch City, and I think that if we got a DM, I feel pretty confident we could. Without that, I still feel we're a little bit behind them.
I think I've said this before as well, but I think if we get Varane, and obviously Sancho's done, and we don't get a DM, I think we're in a position where if we get no injuries or we have the best injury record in the league, we could win the league.
Right, okay.
If we get one or two injuries to the wrong players, we're not going to win it. I think if we get a DM as well, we can probably ride injuries a bit more easily, because let's say that DM gets injured, then you've got Fred and McTominay who can do that job. You've got Matic occasionally as well. If you don't have them and you are relying on them as your first choice, I don't think that's quite enough.
Like, all right, Rafael Varane, permission to talk to United, potentially £43 million to 45, 50, whatever. We're looking at a bargain there if Man United get him.
Yeah.
And we look at Varane now. Let's say, done. You just mentioned the DM, Joe.
Yeah.
There's been talk about Camavingas. There's been talk about Declan Rice's. Do you want to see us move towards a Camavinga, or do you want to see us go towards... And I say this knowing he's not actually proven much more, but someone that's a little bit more proven in the Premier League at the very least. Which way do you want to see us go with the DM?
Of those two, if we're only getting one and money's no object, I'd go Rice. I just think he does more of what we need from a player. I think Camavinga's probably going to be the better player overall. But again, we've seen so many good 18-year-olds. I know we played for France before anyone. I get all that, and he's probably at a level above. But we've seen it. There's been Anderson. There's been who's the other one? Renato Sanchez, who came through with a similar hype around him. Obviously not playing for France, which is another level, especially when they're the World Cup winning team and he's getting into it. But we've seen 18-year-olds go from unlimited potential to being decent players in a couple of seasons, whereas Rice has proven a bit more than that. And I'm not saying Camavinga's going to fail or anything like that, but I think if you're going for one to put in the team straight away, it would be Rice. But it's just the price, isn't it? They want 90 million for him. That's just ridiculous.